People ask me, is Canada a good place to do solar stuff? Absolutely it is. I told you Cairo, Egypt was the best place on the planet when you looked at the amount of available sunlight and meteorological conditions. This chart shows the amount of electricity in kilowatt hours. So I didn't explain this, I should. Energy and power. You have a system that has a certain capacity with it. It can produce so much electricity. If it produces that amount of electricity over time, then we're talking about power. Power is measured in kilowatt hours, energy and time, the unit time. So what this system is showing you is that for every kilowatt you have installed, you'll get this much power, energy over time, in a year. So, Regina, 1361. For every kilowatt installed there, you'll get 1,361 kilowatt hours of production. That's quite high. The Cairo number would be about 1,630 or something like that. So about 300 kilowatts more, but that's it. Does anyone know why Saskatchewan would be so good? Take a guess.
Nothing in the way.
With nothing in the way, exactly. Yeah, no shading going on in Saskatchewan. The wheat doesn't get that high. Yeah, no. Someone else, I think, yelled out climate. Chinook winds up over the mountains and the Rockies, drop all the moisture, very little cloud, lots of blue sky and sunlight and that kind of stuff. The meteorological conditions are very positive there, and that's why they get such benefit. But if you come down here to Toronto, which is the closest location I have here, 1161. That's a number, by the way, you should put in your mind if you're out talking to vendors and stuff like that. It's been a very competitive marketplace. There's a lot of people who have rushed in to want to deliver these systems and make some money off them. There have been some outrageous promises made about what people will produce. So that's a number you should put in your mind. Ideal situation, you should get about 1,161 kilowatt hours for every kilowatt they put on your system. So if they tell you that they're going to put a 3 kilowatt system on your roof, multiply that number by 3, and that's how much annual production. Multiply that by the price you're getting paid for electricity, that's your revenue stream. It's that simple. There's not that much hocus pocus to it. Be careful. If you divide through this thing, and you sort of divide through by the number of days, you'll end up with a calculation that says basically you get 3.5 to 4 hours of bright sunshine per day on average. And if you think about the last 3 weeks that we had, we almost had no bright sunshine. My system has never performed so bad as it has the last 3 weeks. This week's production, I normally do about 250 kilowatt hours a week. I did 78. Like, it's been brutal, right? I was way ahead for the year. But they tell us that these numbers are plus or minus 3% on a year-over-year basis. They're very, very strong, robust averages. Yeah?
The 1161, that would also be non-tracking, and that's fixed?
Correct.
Fixed based on your latitude?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, ideally positioned in terms of pitch for your latitude.
Okay.
Correct. Correct. Good clarification. I want to emphasize a little bit about the sun. You will have, if you put in one of these systems, you'll be more aware where the damn sun is than you've ever been in your life. I go out to people's houses, and they take me up to their backyard, and they go, yeah, we can put it on the roof right up there, right above the patio. We sit here out in the summer, and we get sunshine all the time. I got a perfect place for it. I look 20 feet to the lot line at the back, and they've got 40-foot trees all around it. And I'm going, okay, I can understand why you're hot in the summer, but have you thought about the rest of me? Let me take a look, walking through this diagram. So this is for our latitude. It's about 43 degrees. 180 degrees is due south, right? So 90 degrees would be east, 270 would be west. And what these blue lines are, they're tracing the migration of the sun through the sky on a solar time basis. Up here at 12 noon is solar noon. That's the other thing, it gets a little complicated here. When the clock says about 12:20, that's solar noon for where we are. Because we're not, time zones span a whole bunch of the geography. Noon comes a little earlier by the sun than it does in the east than it does in the west. We're about at 12:20. But this chart is adjusted for that. So at solar noon, due south, the sun's at the highest. This outside line, this is June 21st, the summer solstice, the time when the sun is the highest in the sky. You can see it gets up to about 70 degrees, right? 90, 70. Look at where my hand's pointing, really high, right? In the winter, on December 21st, the low line down here, we're about at 23. So that's 90, 45, 23. Look, I'm barely covering people's heads over here. So when I go to that guy's porch, and he says, oh yeah, we sit out here, we have sun all the time. Oh yeah, it's sunny from like 9 in the morning to like 4 in the afternoon, never a shadow, don't worry about it. He's talking about up here, because July, August, by the time you're down here, He's inside, right? The fall and the spring is here. He's not out on his deck anymore, so he's got all this to look at. So you really, really, really seriously need to look at your obstacles, your neighbors' houses, utility poles, that tree you planted that's going to grow big in 10 years, and you have to think about what's available. As I said earlier, you don't have to have perfect, no shading whatsoever, but you need to really have knowledge about what your shading is. There are tools, solar pathfinders, which are kind of like an inverted fishbowl that you look into. You go to where you're going to put your panels, you look into it, it will show you where the obstacles are, and it gives you a little marker. And you draw sort of a radius, and it'll tell you, it's all calibrated to show you how much sunlight you're going to get or how much you're not going to get. They tell me there's even an iPhone app. I don't have an iPhone, so I don't know how this works.
I got one.
Do you have the app, and does it work?
It works great.
Yeah, you can actually take a picture of where it is, and the thing will calculate and give you the answer. But get them to do it. The guy who gets out of his car and goes, "Oh yeah, you got great solar potential back here." He's going to tell you 6 hours of bright sunlight too. What do you watch? So be careful. The other thing I just want to highlight here is if 180 is due south and 90 is east and 270 is west, look where the sun's setting in the summer, or rising and setting. It's way past. It's about 30 degrees past east and west. So yeah, we're all taught as kids, sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Well, when you get into these systems, you now got to be careful about the sun really rises in the northeast in the summer and sets in the northwest in the winter. So not only do you have to have a clear horizon from a vertical perspective, but you got to have a clear horizon from the east and from the west, from your left and from your right. So you really need clear space, right? Some of these ground-mounted systems, I felt so sorry. I'd go out to these guys. I'm so proud of their system. They're putting these dual-axis trackers, spending $100,000 on them. And I look at them, and yeah, they're clear as mud, south, but to the east and west, they got hedgerows and large trees and that kind of stuff. The whole point of those trackers is to pick up this little bit of sunshine on the edges, right? And so you got to have a clear shot to be able to actually make that make sense. So really, sorry to belabor it. You'll be aware the sun's only like this in winter. Like right now, we're approaching the lowest, shortest day of the year. The 21st of December will be there. But the sun's only coming up about 30 degrees right now. It's very different than when you think about it just being up here in the summer. So you take everything that I've talked to you about. This is kind of what you'll end up with your distribution of your production through the year. You'll see you'll get most of your energy production in the spring and summer sort of time frames, and it will tail down to the end. Someone, I got to give a credit. I was in a room the other day, and someone said to me, "Why is this side different than this side? Look how much lower it is over here than there." And I have to be honest, I had to scratch my head for a moment, but then it hit me. Meteorological conditions. It's a lot more, you're right with you, it's a lot more rainy and cloudy in the fall than it is in the spring, in February, and that kind of stuff. You get those crisp, clean air. The air is dry, doesn't have a lot of cloud and water vapor content into it, so you can produce a lot more. In the fall, you've got all this water vapor and clouds and stuff like that, so you're not producing very much. As I said as I started, the critical components really are your panels and inverters. Choose wisely. Panels will come from the manufacturer, typically with a 20 to 25 year warranty. The panels will actually physically last probably 3 to 4 decades, 30 to 40 years. The manufacturer's warranties will typically specify that they'll produce at 80% of their full rated power production after the 20 years. So they do expect them to decline a little bit. If you're really thorough in doing a business model analysis on this, you might degrade your system by 1% every year, so you'll do 1% less power every year as you go by. But the panels will keep producing. I want to talk a little bit though about panel manufacturers network. Kind of the situation we're in now, and then when the gentleman talks about the programs, you'll see this. Part of the flip side of this premium price they're willing to pay you is that you need to buy your panels assembled in Ontario, which is a really, really good thing in my opinion, because a warranty is only good if you can go back to the organization that's behind the warranty. And now that we've got some local representation to take some of the, there were some great offshore panels that were coming in, but the only people you could talk to was like the forwarding agent in the west coast of the United States somewhere, right? That was the only presence in North America they had, and it made me nervous that if you're 20 years into it, you have a warranty claim and you want to go see somebody, who are you going to see? A forwarding freight agent in the west coast in LA or something like that? Now that we've got local manufacturing, that'll be really good and you could follow up on it. But 20 to 25 year warranties, but they'll probably last you upwards to 30 or 40, yeah. Thanks for your time. I'll be around all day if you have any questions on that, and enjoy the rest of the day.